Login. Welcome to Tea Time with Kitty, giving everyone a second to get all logged in so that we can get started. I've missed you for the past 2 weeks. A lot has happened. Let's see. I'm giving everyone just a second. Welcome on this rainy day. Thank you for logging in. Thank you for logging in to each and every one of you. Giving everyone a second. Thank you for my tardiness. Yes, make sure everyone has tuned in for tea time, and so that we can capture all of the things that we want to celebrate this month. Let's see what we have. Have a list of things here. One second. Okay, so let's get ready to get started. I won't hold you long. The topic for this month is a month to celebrate. And in the month of June, we have so much to celebrate. So we're going to go ahead and look over some of the things that we celebrated for the month of June. Hey, doctor. And some of the things that we celebrated for the month of June was we have celebrated Father's Day, which was the 18th of June. We celebrated Juneteenth, which is the 19th of June. And we celebrate graduations. We've been celebrating graduations all month long. So not only have we been celebrating them this month, but we celebrated them last month. And I think this week we'll be wrapping up the final graduation. So let me go through some of the graduations. Okay, well, let me start with some of the birthdays and then we'll go to the graduation. So for some of the birthdays, so last Wednesday, we did not have tea time. We traveled to New York to celebrate Yari's second birthday. Her theme was Choo Choo. Yari's turning 2. So we took a train ride to the Big Apple so that she could ride the train to New York City. Then we went to the Children's Museum so that she could get on the train in the Children's Museum, the stationary train that they have in place. And to top it off, she had a birthday celebration on this past Saturday where a train came and gave the children's ride. So happy second birthday to Yari. Choo Choo. Yari's turning 2. She really enjoyed it. Sometimes we give kids parties, especially that big first birthday party. We often give kids, hey niece, they really don't understand and don't have a clue about. But Yari was attentive to the birthday party when people sung. The smile on her face let us know that she truly appreciated it. Um, and Sanaya and Samante celebrated their 17th birthday on June the 9th. So we know that we're clapping that right on up because one more year to 18. My sister Karen celebrated her birthday this month on the 26th of June. It's called the Miles family birthday because so many people in the Miles family, my family, celebrate on June the 26th. Tina, Carmelo, Hassan, and I had 2 more people that I was supposed to add, but they celebrated. My grandmother celebrated her heavenly birthday on June 14th, which is also my friend Benita's birthday, who inspired me to start this show, as well as my sister in my circle, Chanel, celebrated her birthday, and Parkland's favorite triplets. So those are some of the June birthdays that we celebrated for the month of June. Please make sure you drop it in the chat if I have forgotten anyone. Before I go into the graduations, I do want to let you all know as we celebrate June 19th, Juneteenth, which a lot of us are doing a lot for. Thank God for my good government job that gives us Juneteenth off. I just wanted to remind us about the state of Florida and what the state of Florida is doing. It's one of the places where more than enough African Americans have even lost their lives or been shot at the hand of a white person. Right now, they are asking African Americans, Black people, to not spend their money in the state of Florida. One very important reason is that they are removing Black history books from the schools as well as the library. So they're almost erasing the history. So there's a lot going on with the governor that they have in place there. So please read up on it. And before you visit anywhere, make sure you know how valuable we are. I did experience what's considered like discrimination when it comes to Florida, from being there on a vacation last year for my birthday. And I do not plan on visiting anytime soon, even with me planning on taking the girls to Disney World. I think we're going to do it in LA as opposed to Florida. So I'm working on that now to make some changes to that. And also, for more information, WSSC has an amnesty program going on. So, if you live in Maryland, that's the water company for Maryland. They are helping residents pay their bills, as well as they're doing a lot of activities for the remainder of June. And I believe there's a few in July as well. Go to their website, WSSC.com, to get that information on amnesty on your bills, as well as important information on how to cut down on your water bill and your utilization. Now, for the moment that you all been waiting for, we're going to talk about some graduations. And from elementary school, or should I say pre K, we had Nala to graduate from pre K. Shout out to Nala going on to the next grade. Shout out to Blair and shout out to Rain. If I'm missing anyone, please make sure that you drop it in the chat. Next up, we have middle school. No, let me go back to elementary. Elementary, we had Raleigh. No, Raleigh. I think Raleigh was middle school. So Raleigh was middle school, and then my niece Jada, as well as thank you, congrats to the grads. My niece Jada, Rissa daughter, middle school, and my niece also graduated from. We're gonna do the high school next. I already got my high school list going right here, but I did want to give a shout out to the graduates of Turner Elementary as well as Johnson Middle School and Ballou High School. So back to the list of graduations. So let's celebrate these 2023 high school graduates. And I think I had one on the list, which is Rissa little sister, who actually graduated from college. So for my high school list, we have Shamika, we have Carmelo, we have Hassan. Shout out to my youngest brother, Prentice, who had two kids graduate this year. LP walked across the stage on Friday, and LaPria turned around and walked across the stage on yesterday. We have London. London is my cousin Hakid's daughter. Shout out to London, Hakid, and my aunt Marietta. And just also, so you know, Hassan and Carmelo is Latrell's two children. Trail did such an awesome job with getting those boys ready for prom. They look great, went above and beyond. And Trail and Prentice are both bonus parents with two kids coming out the same year. Then we had Jaden, my cousin Rosa, and Jerome's son, just graduated from high school. We have Kamani, my sister niece, Kanika's son. We have Janaya, my sister Mika's little sister. We have Devin, my co-worker Cooper's son. And then Rissa's baby sister, which graduated from high school as well. So shout out to all of those 2023 graduates. If I missed anyone, please feel free to drop it in the chat. And I just want to salute each and every one of them for graduating and going on to their next endurance in life. And I think that it's so important that we acknowledge it, the good things that our teens do, because there's so much going on with our teens and all of the violence and all of the things that they're going through, emotional trauma each and every day, seeing their friends pass away. And I think I had already got Michaela on the birthday list last go round, but I want to make sure I add Michaela in as well. So happy birthday to all of those who are celebrating June birthdays, as well as all of those, no matter if it was a daycare graduation, if it was a preschool graduation, elementary school graduation, middle school graduation, high school graduation, undergrad graduation, master's, PhD, and on and on and on. You are important. You rock. The sky is a little less than the limit. So make sure you reach and aim for it every day, and be as successful as you can possibly be. So now that we got the graduations out the way, and we got the birthdays out the way, let's talk a little bit about Father's Day. Did anyone have anything special? Thank you, Sherelle, that they did for Father's Day. Anyone have anything that they want to chat? I do want to say happy Father's Day to my dad, my brothers, my son, uncles, cousins, and everyone on my Yahoo Nation, I'm sorry, my YouTube Nation, as well as my Facebook Nation. So happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. Continue to celebrate your month. Did anyone have any special Father's Day plans? Just drop it in the chat this Father's Day. And oops, I met my baby, got my baby KJ for birthdays for the month of June as well. But this Father's Day, I did not go to church this Sunday, but we did go to my dad's house. So my first stop out was to my dad's house, celebrated with my dad, took him his gift. Chilled to spend a little time with him, and then I went to KJ's birthday party at the bowling alley, came back home to a nice dinner and a little concoction. And that was my Father's Day. Anyone else? Mika, Sherelle, do you all want to get started? What was your Father's Day like? Donald, please feel free to chime in. Pookie, as a father, how was your Father's Day? Please let us know how your Father's Day went. Do you feel like you were appreciated if you are a father? If you feel like there's something more we should do? What is your take as it relates to Father's Day? Please jump in. You worked on Father's Day? Did you work the whole day? The whole day? Did you do anything fun? Because even if you worked, I know you probably got off early or got off late. Anybody else? Sherelle, you had an outing on Father's Day. Was it on Father's Day that you were able to get out with your dad? Anybody else with Father's Day? And I am a true believer that it's very important that we not only acknowledge our biological fathers, but it may be our significant other, it may be our child, it may be our brothers. We have to make the best of it. I really, really, really wish I was in a position, but I deal with graduations and parties and a little bit adjustments. But I wish I would have been in a position to definitely throw the big cookout that I wanted to throw. But hey, I plan on being here for many more Father's Day, and we'll get back to it because I like to get them the T-shirts to say Black Fathers Matter and just have a good, good, good time. The girls and I went to Crazy Crab with my father, and we had a good time. That was so great. You got to spend it with your dad and had an awesome, good time. Went out my uncle's house. That was your Uncle Mike, right? They was cooking out, and I can see from your pictures that you all truly, truly, truly enjoyed yourself. He was just happy to have us there. I took Millie home with him that night. I appreciate and love him so much. That's really a great thing. It's a great thing to be a father, but not only is it a great thing to be a father, but it's a really precious jewel, and being able to have an affectionate connection with your dad, not being able to point him out and be like, oh, that's my dad. But to have that intimacy with your father means so much. And we always compare Mother's Day and Father's Days, and people will crack jokes, even men, and say, for Father's Day, it looked like this, and for Mother's Day, it looks like this. Well, who makes it that way, right? Who is sowing, as dad, sowing that into your child where they know that my dad is just as important as my mom. So to all the fathers out there that's on with us now, or who will come back and visit the YouTube channel at another time, do know that you have a right to deposit as much into your child as the mom does. And if you deposit as much into your child as the mom does or equivalent to that, then know that your Father's Day will be as great as a reward as your Mother's Day. We do need more affectionate fathers. We have fathers that's disciplinary. We have fathers that's the breadwinners, but we need more affectionate fathers. We need to have the recall daddy taking us to the doctors. We need to recall daddy's taking us to the first day of school. We need to recall daddy just being daddy. Daddy, you know, I had a co-worker all day at work. Daddy this, daddy. Girl, if you don't cut it out about your daddy. But as I look back on it, where I am now in my life, it's a great thing to have a daddy, right? A daddy. Like if you know that you're in need, you can call on daddy because so many people are able to call on mom when they're in need. But we need more people to call on dad. So if you are a dad, let your children tap into that gentle side. Let no one separate you from the bond of your children. No woman, no man, no job, no place. Let nothing stop you from being. I am a true believer. In order for us to be able to put Father's Day on that scale that Mother's Day is on, we must give back to our communities as fathers. We must give back. We need to be more known than the child support check. We need to be more known than just the disciplinarian, the one that made a roof over our heads so he worked all the time. Those things are great and those things are appreciative, but there's nothing like looking back saying, I remember when I first learned to ride a bike and I fell and hit my knee, it was my daddy. You know, you got to say it with my daddy who put the band-aid on my leg, right? When I was being bullied at school and this big boy just kept chasing me home, I want to be able to say it was my daddy who arrived at that school bus at 3 o'clock or arrived at that school door. So daddies, again, not even distance, because we talked about other people, not even distance. Like even if you're a father and your child is out of town, or even if they're in town, but you're in Southeast and they're in Northwest, allow nothing to be that distance, because if all your children have to remember you about is distant, know that one day those children are going to be grown, and the same distance that you gave them, they will give you. And this is not just the dad, because some moms out there are the same way, but because we're talking about dads and I'm trying to get us on a level where we're praising our dads more, that's the only reason why I'm using dads as the example, because this is dad's month and we should have been shopping all month for the right gift for dad. We should have been spending all day for the right gift for dad. And if we're not doing that, then we need to know, where is dad? Like, how do we really feel about our dads? And how can that be connected? So a lot of times when you're grown and you're an adult, you've already conformed to the person that you're going to be. And sometimes we feel that the person that was not there for us, we're not going to be there for them. So unless you have a really, really good spiritual connection with the Lord, and you're able to truly forgive people and see that the battle wasn't yours, it was the Lord's, and you're able to understand that the battle that cursed your dad or your generations was not yours, or not even really your father's, but you can turn that around and be able to forgive that person and love that person. Everyone's not there. So again, we're calling dads to be dads. There is no excuse for a dad not knowing his child's teacher, right? And we're not tearing dads down. We're building dads up. So if you're a dad and somebody was to walk up to you and say, what school does your child go to? What's your child's favorite color? What's your child's favorite food? What's your child's teacher name? If you're not able to answer those questions, then that's why Father's Day is not as glorified as Mother's Day. But it's not too late to turn it around. So it's still June. So that means we got July, we got August, we got September, we got October, we got November, we got December. We got a new year coming in January. We got February. We got March. We got April. We got May. And I guarantee you, if we start today and take it into January and get around here to April and then turn up real good for May, I will ensure you that your Father's Day will be increased. Because, first of all, God finds favor in parents who do right by their children. So when you don't do right by your child, and that child is prayed over, and that child is anointed, then know that nothing good will come to you. So let's try that. Let's try that. And again, it could be for some of the mothers too, but I'm trying to get dads on the same level playing field as moms, because we always hear people say, all dad gets is a tag. All dad gets is a dinner in a house. When it's Mother's Day, they get the roses, they get the gifts. Well, then we have to ask ourselves, are you giving the rose type of love? Are you giving the out the restaurant type of love? So you make sure that you're mindful of those things when we want to be glorified, because you have to ask yourself, what did I put in to get out? Because unless you put $1 million in Bank of America, chances are you won't be able to get $1 million out. So, dads, I challenge you going into the month of June. And if you all know a dad or know a father, please share this YouTube channel with them so they can go back and watch this, and that we'll be able to restore our families, because women, as beautiful as we are, as loving as we are, as financially stable as we are, we will not restore our family until men are present. And I don't just mean your mother still go with your father. I don't mean that your father comes home, but you're going to be drunk. I'm talking about until fathers are restored in the home. And what does that look like in the home? You know, it's a blessing for a child to be able to call on daddy. And I want that to minister into our spirit. And I want it to stay there, because women, you all know, for years, I've always felt that women are the reason for sorry men. And again, anyone can turn it around. But what I mean by that, we as women has to stop condoning. I seen a lot of Facebook posts on Father's Day, and it was so amazing because these posts were coming from men, and men were making posts saying things like, "I can't hang with a deadbeat." So I'm gonna need women to stop sleeping with deadbeats, because 9 times out of 10, if he's a deadbeat to another woman's child, it's only a matter of time before he'll be a deadbeat to ours. So, in order for our men to be what they need to be, and be as effective as they need to be, we need moms to get involved. We need those nosy sisters, those nosy sisters like I am, to make sure ain't no girl out on a date with one of my brother's girlfriends, right? I mean, I'm sorry, one no dude is out on a date. So one of those nosy sisters, we need a nosy sister. We need a concerned mother. We need a woman with standards. If you're going to date a man with children, have some standards, right? Because do know that when you are associated with things that's not pleasing to God, it will shift over on you as well. So this Father's Day, we're challenging you. And I truly feel that Father's Day has gotten so much better, because when I first got on Facebook, about 8 years ago, 8, 9 years ago, oh my gosh, people bash Father's Day so bad. Oh my God, I'm a mother and a father. And they got a post on there saying, I don't care how thick your mustache is, you're not a father, right? But I mean, it feels so good to see women coming around, because if you are a loving, God fearing woman, you know that our home will not be complete until there's a man in it. Not a 36-year-old boy, right? But until there's a man in it, because it's very important that men lead the household. Because when there is not a man present, no matter how much you make, there's going to always be a lack. So women, remember that. Remember that. Remember how to be submissive to the right man, right? Know how to be submissive. Know how to listen. Know how to close your mouth and not have to go back and forth with the man, right? All you have to do is pray for him, let go and let God. If it's meant to be, it shall be. If it's not your battle to fight at all. So let's get Father's Day on the scale with Mother's Day by Father's Day of 2024. And by Father's Day of 2025, I want to see Father's Day exceed Mother's Day. I want to see everybody cooking dad a dinner, cooking out, and taking him to a restaurant. So, dads, in order for us to feel this way about you, you have to feel that way about us at young ages. So, cast all those demons out. That's part of the reason why the violence is the way it is, why crime is the way it is, dropout rates, teen pregnancy, all of that goes back to lack of male presence. Yeah, we got the boys in the hood that teach your sons how to sell a little drugs if you don't watch them good. And he'll even do you a favor and teach your child how to shoot dice. but those are not what we're looking for, because any man, true definition of a man, is a protector and a provider. And if you're teaching my son to sell drugs and to shoot a gun and to, well, I'll take that back. I won't say shoot a gun, because I guess guns are our protection, but you know what I mean in the right context of it. So if he's teaching your child to take in drugs, to sell drugs, to shoot dice, there's no way someone doing those things can be a protector or provider. And if they are providing or protecting, it's temporarily before the system comes in and lock them up, and now they're missing from the families. And now young boys 12 and 13 is out here stealing cars, trying to provide for their mom and their other siblings, because their king has removed himself from the throne. So please take all that to heart. Please, 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 please. Let's wrap up the last 5 minutes with tea time with Juneteenth. Did anyone do anything special for Juneteenth? What was your plans for Juneteenth? Anyone has anything that was popping, popping, popping for Juneteenth? Did anybody do anything special? Now, we always wore the Juneteenth shirts and got up. We even went one year downstairs, downtown on the mall, and Backyard was playing in a van, and there was a few other bands, and it was an awesome experience. But my anxiety is not allowing me to do too many things in the DC, DMV area. So I definitely will pass on a lot of those things. But I just want to know, did anybody celebrate Juneteenth? So for myself, I was off. Thank God for my good government job. I did take the girls swimming. We went swimming. And then I cooked. We did grilled hot dogs, grilled hamburgers. We did fried chicken, baked beans, tuna salad, potato salad, and string beans with some cupcakes, right? So that's all we did for Juneteenth. Did anyone else do anything different than that? Because we really need more African Americans getting out celebrating Juneteenth. We still gonna get together for 4th of July because we used to that. But the day that we should really be getting together and celebrating our freedom is Juneteenth. So if you did not do anything special this year for Juneteenth, again, you get 11 months to correct that, 11 and a half months to correct that, and have something for next year for Juneteenth, and get together and support. Reach out to me. We can plan a big Juneteenth event. Next year, Juneteenth will be on a Sunday, I believe. So I think it's going to be on the same day as Father's Day. I have to check the calendar, but if my math serves me right. So that means that we got to turn up big time for Father's Day and Juneteenth. So before I get ready to wrap you all up, I do want to ask God to put a shield of protection around each and every one of us. I will ask that God cast out all those devils working the earth, that's trying to make us do things that we wouldn't normally do, say things that harm people in ways we would not harm them. I'm asking that you restore and rebuild our fathers, that they know their worth and their value, that is not just based on money, but it's based on affection and it's based on time, that you would give them what they stand in need of. And one thing I tell all fathers, and I just added to my prayer, that I'm able to be a support to them. So if you are a father and you're struggling with custody, if you're struggling with visitation rights, please seek me for assistance, because if there's anything I can do or any resource that I can connect you with, do know that when a child is born, the child is as much yours as it is hers. And we need more African American men to execute that. No woman should be able to take your child anywhere. You should have your rights exercised. I wouldn't care if it means going to the news, the courts, anything except for harming anybody, right? Because then you wouldn't see the child anyway. But I hope that that prayer goes forth. I think that anyone struggling with that situation know that it's already overcame, and you don't have to worry about that situation anymore. That it's already worked out in your favor. Again, I want to see more active dads, more active dads. One other thing, if you are this man, let it go. If you are in a situation where your kids are not, and I'm speaking from my experience growing up as a child, my siblings, mom, which is my dad's wife, and my mom, we wasn't really able to connect the way that we should have as children because my dad was still in a relationship with both of our moms. So do know that a lot of times that definitely separates the vision with you and your children. So if you are a married man, keep your household tight. Don't keep walking out on your household, although my dad wasn't married then. But even if you have multiple children, you do not need to be going back and forth with both parents of those children because the only person that's affected is your children. One day those women are going to outgrow you. One day those women are not going to feel the same way about you, but your kids. My daughter just recently found her found siblings on her dad's side. So my youngest twins, are not my biological children. They just made contact with, they've always known their mom, but they just made contact with their biological dad through losing a brother. And they had no idea that they were siblings. They came from a really large family. I want to say I believe it's 13 of them on their dad's side, and I believe it's 8 of them on their mom's side. So they have a lot of siblings. And my youngest son was dating one of his sisters. Just thankfully, nothing happened, right? He was dating one of his sisters, and my daughter was beefing with one of her sisters. They never, thank God, met up to fight because she'll meet up to fight somebody in a minute. But they never got to meet up to fight. But that's where we are. And it's all because our kids grow up not knowing each other. Because again, men, our kings, the head of our villages, the kings of our home, choose to have relationships with both women. And it could be a situation with women doing the same thing with two men. But right now, we're talking about men getting fathers held accountable and being more reliable. And children are missing out on the fondest memories of their siblings because parents not making mature, healthy decisions. So we pray for all those things. Thank you so much for having tea with me on this rainy day. We learn each and every day as we go. We get stronger and we do better and we move forward. So, again, I thank you all so much for sipping with a sister. Congrats again to all the graduates. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Happy birthday to all the June babies. And I look so forward to sipping tea with you next week. Have a wonderful day.